The rain had stopped only minutes ago, leaving the city soaked and shimmering, like someone had washed the world and forgotten to dry it. New York smelled of wet pavement, coffee, and the secrets people whispered through the night. Ava stood under the soft glow of a street lamp, her red scarf clinging to her wet hair, her breath visible in the cold air. She checked her phone again. No message, no call, nothing from Ethan. She hugged herself, trying to stay warm, trying to stay calm. He told her he'd meet her here at 9 o'clock. It was 9:47. Of course, she murmured to herself. Classic Ethan. A car splashed by, sending small droplets onto her shoes. Just then, she heard fast footsteps behind her. Ava. She shut her eyes. Of course he'd show up the exact moment she was about to leave. She turned slowly. Ethan stood there, breathless, soaked, hair dripping, chest rising and falling. He looked like he had run through the entire city just to reach her. I'm sorry, he said, lowering his voice, I'm so sorry. Ava looked at him, unimpressed. You're always sorry. Ethan stepped closer, water running down his jawline. I know, but this time, I mean it. You mean it every time, she whispered. He exhaled, frustrated with himself. Ava, please, just hear me out. But she looked away. She didn't want to hear him. Didn't want to feel him. Because whenever Ethan showed up late, he made up for it in ways that made her forget why she was angry. He had this energy, intense, magnetic, bold, a force that always pulled her back. And she hated that she loved it. She began walking away. Ethan followed, carefully matching her pace. Ava, stop, look at me. She didn't. He grabbed her wrist gently, but firmly enough that she felt the strength in his fingers. She froze. Ethan's voice softened. Please. Slowly, she turned. Their faces were close. Too close for sanity, too close for safety. Ava's pulse stumbled. Rainwater dripped from Ethan's hair onto her scarf, but she didn't move away. Why do you keep doing this? She whispered. Why do you keep coming late? Why am I always an afterthought? You're not, he said instantly. You're never an afterthought. You're the only thought that actually matters. Ava let out a small, bitter laugh. Then why am I standing alone on a cold street at 9:47? Ethan inhaled sharply. I had an exhibition meeting. My painting, the red silhouette, got selected for the showcase. The director wanted last-minute changes. I couldn't walk away. Ava's anger cracked just a little. She knew how much that painting meant to him. And I ran here, Ethan continued, the moment it ended. I swear, there was sincerity in his eyes, warm, burning sincerity. But Ava wasn't ready to let go that easily. You should have called. My phone died. He held up the black screen. She sighed. Her anger was thinning, dissolving into the night like steam. Look, she said quietly, I'm tired, Ethan. I'm tired of being the one who waits. The one who understands. The one who forgives. Ethan stepped closer again, too close. So close she could feel his breath mix with hers. You don't have to forgive me, he murmured. Just, don't walk away. Ava's heart hammered. The smell of rain on his shirt. The warmth of his breath in the cold. The intensity in his eyes. It was too much, too dangerous. Ethan, she whispered, trying to steady her voice, this has to stop. His eyes hardened, not with anger, but with resolve. It will stop, he said. After tonight, but not the way you think. Ava frowned. What does that mean? Ethan reached into his jacket and pulled out a folded sketch. He held it out to her. Ava hesitated. Then she unfolded it slowly. Her breath caught. It was her. The way she looked at him when she thought he wasn't watching. The softness, the quiet fire, the vulnerability, the strength. She blinked, stunned. Ethan, I spent 2 nights drawing this, he said softly. Because whenever I paint something real, something raw, it's always you. Her voice trembled. Why are you showing me this? Because I don't want you to think you're second to anything. Not to my work, not to my art, not to anyone. He cupped her cheek gently, his thumb brushing a wet strand of hair away. You are the reason I paint, he whispered. You're the reason I see the world differently. Ava's throat tightened. Nobody had ever said something like that to her. Then why can't you just show up for me? She whispered back. Ethan smiled weakly. Because I'm an idiot who thinks he has infinite chances with the one woman he shouldn't ever risk losing. It struck her hard. She looked at him, this stubborn, passionate, perfect disaster of a man. And then something in her chest gave way. But Ava was not someone who fell easily. She was fire wrapped in self-control. So she said nothing. Ethan stepped even closer. Their foreheads touched. His voice dropped to a whisper. Ava, if you want me to leave, say it now. And I swear, I'll never come back. She closed her eyes. His breath brushed her lips. The world stood still. Say it. Tell him to leave. Tell him to walk away forever. But her lips wouldn't move. Finally, she whispered, I don't want you to leave. Ethan exhaled, a breath filled with relief, hunger, and something dangerously close to love. He held the sides of her face, gently, reverently. Ava. She looked into his eyes. And everything she had been holding back for months shattered. Their lips met. It wasn't soft. It wasn't careful. It wasn't polite. It was bold. The kind of kiss that starts storms and ends wars. The kind of kiss that makes every other kiss feel like a draft. Rain dripped from his eyelashes onto her cheeks. Her fingers slid into his wet hair. His arms wrapped around her waist, pulling her into the warmth he carried like a secret. The world spun. The city vanished. Only they existed, two souls burning in the cold night. When they finally pulled apart, breathless, Ava whispered. This doesn't fix everything. I know, Ethan said. But it proves something. What? That we're worth fixing. Ava swallowed hard, her heart still running wild. Ethan brushed his thumb along her jaw. Come with me. Where? You'll see. He took her hand, not gently, but with the confidence of someone who finally knew what he wanted. And Ava let him. For the first time, she didn't fight it. He led her through the wet streets, across crosswalks shining with city lights, until they reached his art studio. He unlocked the door and flicked on the lights. Canvas frames, paint-stained floors, half-finished masterpieces, and right in the center, a large, blank canvas. Ethan turned to her. I want to paint something tonight. Ava raised a brow. At midnight, at our midnight, she folded her arms. And what exactly do you want to paint? He came close, his voice dropping into that bold, arresting tone that always disarmed her. You, he whispered. Ava's breath caught. Me. Ethan nodded, eyes locked on hers. But not your face, not your smile, not the way the world sees you. He brushed a loose strand of hair behind her ear. I want to paint the way you feel. A shiver ran down her spine. His fingers slid down her wrist slowly, deliberately. And how do I feel? She asked softly. Ethan smiled. Like fire in the rain. Ava's cheeks warmed. Her pulse stumbled again. He stepped back, picked up a brush, dipped it in deep crimson paint, and looked at her with a gaze that could set the whole room aflame. You ready? He asked. Ava bit her lip. Show me. For the next hour, he painted intensely, passionately, glancing at her, studying her, letting every look, every moment, every emotion guide his hand. Ava watched him. The way he moved, the way he breathed, the way he saw her. No one had ever looked at her like that. When he finished, he stepped aside. Ava walked closer. Her heart dropped. It wasn't her face. It was a swirl of colors, fire and rain, passion and restraint, storm and softness. It was exactly how she felt. Exactly how she loved. She turned to him. It's beautiful, she whispered. Ethan stepped up behind her, hands sliding around her waist. Not rushed, not forceful, just deeply, boldly certain. So are you, he murmured. Ava leaned back into him. Not because she had to, but because she finally wanted to. For the first time that night, Ava felt safe. Wanted. Chosen. Ethan kissed the top of her shoulder gently, and she closed her eyes. The storm outside had ended. But the one inside them had just begun.